Officially on. Oh, hang on. I should put this back on stereo mode so that I can hear everything properly. And there we go. Sweet. Sweet. Okay. Let me just make sure that Twitch agrees that I am live. Because in my opinion, I am live. It's not an objective fact, apparently. But, yeah, it looks like I am indeed live. Twitch is, of course, buffering great time for me. Hack Breaks, hello. How's it going, bud? What's good? Things are pretty good, I would say. Now, as for what specifically, what's good, I mean, I might have a bit of a tough time telling you that, because I don't even know that well. Hey, Tech, how are you? I didn't see that you were gonna go live. Well, firstly, I'm doing pretty alright. Thank you for asking. And as for not knowing if I was going to go live today or not, yeah, I went live today because I reviewed this microphone on the channel today. So like usually, when I do like a review on a microphone, I always say that I am going to go live in the video, but like I don't usually announce it anywhere else. But yeah, like I always go live every time I do like a live review of a microphone. Or like a recorded review of a microphone, and then I do a live one after the fact. So that's just how life goes. Tech, I got the $500 gift card and I redeemed it. What should I use it on? Depends. What are you looking for? Yeah, I kind of rushed it a little bit. You rushed it? Unbelievable. Don't rush it. Just finishing getting my live stream set up, hoping to go live Friday. Right now, working on some crypto rigs with 3060s. Oh my goodness. Okay, so firstly, I'm happy for you in that regard. Live streaming setup sounds awesome, and I think that you're going to have fun streaming. Yeah, like just try your best to enjoy it as much as possible. And yeah, hopefully, just chatting is still a viable thing. I'm just joking. But yeah, like I wish you a lot of luck there for sure. And I think that you're going to enjoy streaming quite a bit. Now regarding the crypto thing, I was just like, oh my goodness, I have heard the word crypto so much this week. Well, last week, I should say. And then like it carried over to this week. Not financial advice, but yes, I have heard a lot about crypto. There you go. Now I won't go to prison if I say anything after the fact, because this is not financial advice. What's a budget boom arm I should get? Well, firstly, Simplistic. Thanks so much for jumping in, and I do hope that you're having a wonderful night. And I would say that it depends on what microphone you're using. So what microphone do you plan on using with this microphone arm? Ultra pranks. Well, a pair of headphones. Really, to be honest, I talked about the keyboard and mouse, but I still save it for the future. Okay. I'm actually gonna go over to the just chatting window. May as well. My stream deck is indeed working tonight. So yeah. Let's see now. Okay. If you're looking for a pair of headphones, like, is it a pair of headphones to keep at home? Or is it one to travel with? I need details here so that I can give you the most accurate recommendation, I guess. Also got a box of King's Court. What did you pull? I bought 6 boxes of King's Court. And, well, I can show you what I pulled. Okay, so this binder is actually, so this is my collector's album, right? I'm putting cards in here that are, you know, like rare enough that would be worth sending over to get graded, and then I would like to resell them. So this is what this binder is all about. So like it's filled with like collectors and ultimate rares and things like that. And I actually happened to pull Reinforcement of the Army collector's rare. I pulled one collector's rare Jack's Knight, and I also pulled one Pharaoh's ultra rare, not secret but ultra, Slifer the Sky Dragon. So I would say that I had some pretty good pulls in that regard. Though the one I really wanted was the Winged Dragon of Ra, because out of the 3 Egyptian god cards, he is my favorite. What did you get though? I am curious. Oh, and I did get one ultra rare, Lightning Storm, which I mean that is a pretty sick pull. But it's funny how out of 6 boxes I only got one. Like that was kind of surprising, and I was actually pretty disappointed that they went as far as to add really dumb reprints like Evil Zor, Evil Zor, I think Polka was his name. It's like a white dragon XYZ monster that requires 2 dinosaur type monsters. And when I saw that, I'm like, dude, seriously, this did not need a reprint. It was already pretty cheap as it was, and it did not need to be the like one of the ultras that you can get from this box. But anyway, I think it rambled on for too long about Yu-Gi-Oh! There. I could also get a black Nike backpack for school too. Hey, I mean, if that's what you would like to get. I do think that it is a good idea to like invest in your backpack, because a good backpack will last you a good few years, and to some people it can even be forever. Well, like just depending on how long they even need that bag for. Going to do some hacking related streams to raise awareness. Ah, okay. I think that's a pretty good idea, actually. I think that'd be pretty cool. And I can see something like that getting traction pretty quickly. Simplistic says, I used a HyperX Quadcast. Well, first of all, I'm so sorry for getting to your question so late. And I would say that just about any microphone arm will honestly work with it. However, if you want me to link you to one directly, I can do that too. Because the Quadcast is a pretty lightweight microphone, so just about anything will work for it. So honestly, I would recommend a pretty cheap mic arm. Like $100 and even $50, probably too much money to spend to hook up that microphone in particular. Oh, this one from InnoGear should actually do you all. So this one's about $17. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the YouTube chat here. Just 1 second. I'll be there. Okay, so I've gone ahead and linked it. Hopefully you can see it, and I hope that arm ends up working out for you. Ultra Prank says, I could also get that boom arm that stays on top of the desk with the shock mount. I also found a separate shock mount for my K678. Oh yeah, that's right, I kind of forgot that you had that microphone. How is that shock mount, by the way? It's such a tiny microphone that I would think, maybe it wouldn't be the easiest thing to find a shock mount for it, but maybe it is. I also got another $100 one too, so in total I have $600 I can use for Amazon. Hey, you should buy yourself a Nintendo Switch OLED. Not financial advice. Brown Dude, yo, hello, welcome in. Jim Allen, welcome in. Is that microphone sponsored by Zoom, the online meeting software? No, it is not sponsored by Zoom, the online meeting software. This is so Zoom. Zoom is also like an audio company. They make microphones. They actually specialize in like portable microphones and things, and like audio recorders for to like hook up to your camera and things like that. So no. I don't know if they're the same Zoom or not, but that would be kind of weird. Two companies with the same name, right? I'm first. Nobody can say they are first now because they are not. Well, if Foolish Swami comes in and says first, then I kind of have to give him that position. At least you're a moderator. So there you go. Haven't opened them yet. I'm waiting on a couple more boxes and some friends to get together to open. Ooh, sounds awesome. Sweet. Sweet Potato. Hi, hello to you. And she says hi again. Well, that is actually to Mr. Brown, dude. So how's it going, Sweet Potato? How's your night so far? Or I should say your afternoon. I look forward to hearing what you guys end up pulling, though. I'm very much curious about what you're going to end up getting your hands on. I really want that secret, that Pharaoh's secret rare winged dragon of Raw. So I actually bought 4 more boxes to try my luck, to test my luck. So anything under $600 I can get. Yes, so you should get the Nintendo Switch OLED. Not financial advice. Hello there, Tech Machine Servitor. Welcome in. I hope you're having a wonderful... Nah, I just read the other message. I'm sad today. Not only because things happen, but also because my cats can't stop wounding themselves in the neighborhood. Like, they keep getting themselves caught on stuff, so they end up getting wounded. It does sound unfortunate for sure. Are there like a lot of obstacles in your neighborhood that they could potentially end up getting hurt by? Lightning Storm is legit OP though. I have been playing this Toon deck and Lightning Storm saves me so many times because the deck is not super great or in meta right now. I feel ya. Not in the sense that that I use Lightning Storm. I've actually I've never put Lightning Storm in the deck before. But I should probably replace my Raigeki with a Lightning Storm. I think that might make more sense. But like, I myself, I should say that my primary deck, like my favorite one, is a Dogmatica / Dark World deck that I built like a month ago, or that I finally finished building like a month ago. And I've been playing with cards like Triple Tactics Talent, you know, like things that kind of require a little more interaction from your opponent before you can actually use it. Kind of similarly to Lightning Storm, even though Lightning Storm, its effects trigger just if you don't control any monsters whatsoever. So, yeah, like cards like that, like they just come in handy really often, and Lightning Storm, I'm sure, is one of those. I might actually be swapping out my Raigeki for Lightning Storm, but we'll see. We'll see. Well, I used a boom arm, broke in the first week, really. I see. Automod. Oh? What just got automodded, I wonder? So, then I'm guessing that you're probably looking to spend a little bit more on a stronger arm, nonetheless, since you didn't have a lot of work, a lot of luck, I mean, beforehand, right? So for the shock mount question, it's like $16 to $25. Oh, okay. I mean, a little bit high, actually, for the kind of microphone that you're buying, but I think it's a fairly universal shock mount, is it not? I'm gonna get a pair of JBL earbuds. Go nuts. Gonna go do some research, so I gotta go. Oh, no worries, bud. Have a wonderful night. Hope you have a good stream, and thanks and I wish you a lot of luck in finding the right boom arm. And if you have any more questions, then like feel free to stop by again. Machine Servitor. I know that they are looking for females, but come on. The white one came back very wounded and bleeding. Maybe females for them are worthy of dying for, or they are in an underground fight club for cats. Anyway, no, I mean you might actually have a point there. Maybe your cats are just involved in some kind of shady business around the neighborhood, where it's like, uh, uh, the girl I love, the girl of my dreams, is into some dark things, and I have to go there to save her, show her the right way, and then you know, like they just get hurt like because of that. But yeah, I think that in this case, keeping your cats indoors might be better, at least for now, because if they keep coming back wounded, that's a pretty bad sign. I mean, it could also very well mean that there could be someone out there that's just like hurting animals. That's a possibility too. I already got a G502 wireless, so I don't need a mouse, and I use a gaming laptop, so I don't need a keyboard unless I can buy a separate one and use it for typing. Yeah, you absolutely can do that. And I also found a pack back. I think you meant it the other way around. LOL, if you don't pull and I do, I'll send it your way. God bless. Thank you. Thank you. I would very much appreciate that. I want that card so much. Thank you. Hackbricks, you are the MVP. Oh no, Machine Servitor. What? That does not sound good at all. Ugh, the stream is buffering so much. You know what the solution to that issue might be, Mr. Ultraprax? That might actually be to upgrade to Verizon's 5G network. There's this ad of like Jamie Foxx, and like he just has his hands like this, and it's like a Verizon ad. So like he talks to you like this. It's a good one. It's an old one, for sure, but it is a good one. I just need the Egyptian gods, and I'm good. The Egyptian gods actually do come in that box, so by all means, go nuts. Try to find them, and the Egyptian god cards are, I think, well, according to TCG Player. Hang on, let me see. According to TCG Player, I think that the cheapest one of the god cards that comes in that box is actually somewhere around 140 bucks. Let me see. King's Court. Let's go ahead and check that out. Okay, no, the cheapest one is actually is 132, and that's for the Ultra Pharaoh's Rare. So pretty nice looking there. So the Winged Dragon of Ra is 132. Slifer the Sky Dragon is 138, and Obelisk the Tormentor is 139. However, they have an even higher rarity of those guys. So Slifer, like the highest rarity for Slifer at the moment being Secret Pharaoh's Rare instead of Ultra Pharaoh's Rare. And that one is currently valued at $544. So if you can pull that card, then, you know, you'll do great. The Winged Dragon of Ra is currently at $533, and Obelisk the Tormentor is at $445. So all of these cards are extremely value cards. And that's why they've been raising the prices of the boxes too, because, well, of that. Let me see. Yep. That information is still accurate to this day. No, they either get themselves in fights with other cats, or some people hate cats and end up harming them. I can't say the Scar looking one is innocent in anything, but I don't think he enjoyed having it an adhesive, an adhesive to its tail when he came back. Wow, that's so odd. What could have happened? I mean, you say that they do often get themselves into fights with other cats, but wow. I don't know why. Yeah, I can't exactly justify that in my head either. That sounds pretty messed up for sure. I bought I headphones. I have no idea what that is. Hang on, I'm going to have to look into that. I headphones. Oh, oh, wait a second. Is an actual brand, huh? Huh. Okay, so we have the III TMA2 modular DJ preset headphones. We have the III 7501 all-round preset headphones in black. III. Oh wait, that's the same model I mentioned earlier. But these are modular headphones? Explain. I've never heard of this brand in the past. Oh, these are these are on ears, though. There aren't really over ears. Ah, interesting. Can they be used wirelessly too, or are they wired only? I do wonder. Oh, and by the way, I guess that I should have kind of mentioned it earlier, but this right here is the Zoom ZDM-1 that I'm currently streaming with. This is an $80 microphone. This is a cardiodynamic microphone. It does have a more narrow frequency range, I would say, or frequency response. Since I believe that the lowest that it can get is somewhere around 15 hertz, perhaps. And I think that the highest that it goes is somewhere around 18 megahertz or something like that. No, megahertz, kilohertz. Sorry. So yeah, this is it. I'm currently streaming with this microphone, and it does actually come with this windscreen already included. So yay. What's a good budget option for a camera for streaming? Or should I just use my current one that I use for work in my Logitech C922 and just tweak the settings on OBS? I think that either method would work totally fine. And Connor Miller, thanks so much for that subscription over on YouTube. I do very much appreciate it. Thank you. And if you're watching right now, then hey, thanks so much for stopping by. But to answer your question, it really could go either way. If it were me, I would probably want to invest in a separate camera for that. However, I will say that right now, the types of cameras that you can get for this sort of thing are like, you're still fairly limited in that regard, unless you go with like a GoPro, for instance. And GoPros can actually look pretty good as webcams. Especially since you can get a pretty wide angle with them, or you can narrow things down if you prefer. However, if I go on eBay, I'm gonna try to check what the price is right now for the Sony A5100, but yeah, like that camera has not been $200 in a while. A Sony A5100, let me see, and no, yeah, like you'll end up finding it roughly on eBay, at least with the lens included, for roughly around $370, it seems, or like $360 for some. So like it does very much depend from what I can see here. And this is like one of the most affordable mirrorless cameras that you can use for live streaming. Let me see how much the Sony RX100 Mark III is currently worth. on eBay. Okay, so like the Mark III does have a nicer price to it. I will say. Because the Mark III, like, I do see that you can find it for a little bit less than 300. And honestly, I do think that the Sony RX100 Mark III is like genuinely a great camera for streaming. So if you can get your hands on that, on the RX100 Mark III, then I think that you'll be pretty solid. You know, the only thing is just that this isn't upgradable. So like if you want to swap out lenses and things like that, you're just straight up going to have to upgrade. So keep that in mind. So like, if that's not something that sounds too appealing to you, then stick with the C922 until you can set a budget aside for something uh, like a Lumix G7 or an A5100, for example, or a Panasonic GX85. But also, it could be anything. Sometimes they come back covered in mud. Sometimes they're bleeding. Sometimes covered in scratches. And sometimes covered in, well, dejects. Dejects? What do you mean by that? And my family have to take care of the wounds. It is very expensive and annoying, and they don't enjoy staying inside. I bet it is pretty expensive. Owning a pet is a lot of money here in the US. Like, it's already an expensive thing that you would have to deal with, and if anything happens to that pet, um you know, like, they might just end up blaming you here. However, when I lived in the Dominican Republic, things were still pretty expensive over there as well. So I can understand that. Like, getting any kind of medical treatment for your pets, whether it's a cat or a dog, it's going to cost you a pretty penny, especially if you have to continually do it. Ultra pranks. Payback. LOL. My word suggestions on my phone were confusing me. I don't know why, and autocorrected too. Huh. I'm not sure why it did that to you. Oh no. That's a shame. Alexander Wilk. Hi. I hope that you're having a wonderful night, buddy. How's your night going so far? And sorry that I just got to your message. I have been like rambling after reading some of the chat messages here, so I'm like now catching up with some of them. I use Sprint, so maybe Verizon would help. When it comes to data speeds, yes, Verizon would help quite a bit. I think. I don't believe that Sprint is very good when it comes to that. Honestly, I'm on T-Mobile when it comes to my mobile data, and I'm not doing too well when it comes to watching live streams, at least on Twitch for some reason. I also tried getting Luster, and everything was fine. I answered my email and said it sent me one, but I didn't see an email. Did you check your junk mail? It might actually be on there. And also, thank you for sending up to Luster. That is indeed appreciated. My ISP Spectrum, so if you know of any other better ones in Texas, please tell me. I mean, if you guys have Verizon and in Texas, then by all means go with Verizon instead. Spectrum. Ugh. No, yeah, I would not consider Spectrum to be a good ISP personally. Torture says, yo, hello. How's it going, Torture? Ultra Pranks 3? What the is that? Well, that just stands for like 3 in Roman numerals, like it's just 3 eyes. Hack bricks. You can buy individual parts to tailor to your liking, and they do have a Bluetooth headband that you can buy. That's pretty. Wait, headband? Okay, so like the Bluetooth functionality is technically on the headband itself. That's pretty interesting, actually. I got the TMA2. Okay, hang on. Let me go ahead and take another look at that. The TMA2. I see, yeah. So it is the modular DJ preset headphone by III. Cool. Maybe I will give them a go. I don't think I have seen modular headphones like these in the past. That must be horrible, machine servitor. I feel sorry for you and your cats. If they were humanoids, I would question if they were dealing with shady people. However, they are cats. I have no idea what they are doing. Fair enough, yeah. I was mostly joking about the shady people part. Though, yeah, like I understand. It is unfortunate that well, at least oftentimes when they do go out, that they end up coming back like this. It's got to be painful. And like you said, you mentioned that it's also expensive every time that they have to patch up one of your cats. What do you think can be done in order to keep that from happening in the future? But also, while maybe somehow making it so that they can't go too far into the streets, so that they can't leave like your premises, I suppose. What do you think could be done? Have you seen the new Razer headset? Yes, it's called the Razer Barracuda X. Yes, I have seen it. A couple of reviews popped up earlier today for me, and I was like, oh wow, so Razer has a new headset. Well, I'm gonna have to review that at some point. So hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on that. But let me actually check. Razer Barracuda X. What do they have for me here? On Amazon. Okay, so the Barracuda X is just $100. Man, it looks super clean, actually. It's like such a clean look. I already really like how it looks. And I bet the microphone sounds amazing, too, on this gaming headset. It's gotta sound incredible. I would like to give this a try, though. I think it would be pretty cool to do. You can pick up an A6000 on eBay for like $250 if you try hard enough. Really? I mean, if that's the case, then hey. Like, an A6000 is an absolute beast of a camera, for sure. My only issue that I personally have with it, I suppose, is just that the screen doesn't really flip all the way over. And I like being able to like monitor things from the camera as well. So that's like the one thing I don't like about it. However, if you have like Streamlabs open on the side, then you can still see where everything is. So ultimately, it might not matter. I didn't get a lens though. Understandably so, yeah. Like, I can understand how if you do try hard enough, 250 would be good enough for the body. But yeah, like for the lens, you'll certainly end up having to pay more. Like a combo like that might end up being 400 if you're lucky. Greg McConroy. I'm back. Hello. Welcome in, Greg, and I hope that you're having a wonderful night so far. Thanks for stopping by. Quick question. Can you convert an Amazon gift card to real money? No, you can't do that. Unless you sell the gift card to somebody. And say like, I'll give you the $600 Amazon gift card for like $550 or something. But I'm not exactly sure what Amazon has to say regarding the terms of service around that. So you shouldn't take advice from me. However, I do know for a fact that you cannot convert Amazon gift cards into actual money unless you just sell the card directly. How about using my phone as a webcam? It has a pretty good camera, though the camera software might not give out the best quality. By the way, bone induction headphones are starting to become a thing. Would love to hear some of your thoughts about it. To address the first one. Oh, bone conduction. Okay. So let's see. To address the first thing, some people do use their phones for live streaming. I personally don't like the idea around it. I do like that smartphones are flexible enough to be used for live streaming and that kind of thing. If we're you to be able to use it as a webcam, but I don't really like the idea of using a smartphone because I myself find I like I find myself needing to use my smartphone actually quite a bit, even while I'm talking to you guys and streaming. So my personal recommendation would not be in that direction, but if you don't see yourself maybe needing to like reach for your phone at any point or anything like that, then it could actually work out. And as for the bone conduction headphones, I have not heard about them actually. Tell me more. Uh, are they supposed to be better? I'll be frank with you, I don't think I've heard of that technology. No, like what brand is that? I headphones. I don't mean Roman numerals. Um, so it's actually AI, but I just pronounced it as I. I hope that makes sense. It's apparently a brand that does make modular headphones. I just checked them out on Amazon and looks pretty cool. Honestly, I kind of want to give it a go. But we'll see if that's something that will be happening. We'll see. You can do the builder on their site. It's actually pretty neat. They have different drivers, headbands, and over-ear and on-ear versions of the cushions. Okay, so you can customize it on their website. That makes sense. On Amazon, it looks like you can only buy presets, like pre-builts. So you can actually build like your ideal pair of headphones. I think that's pretty cool. I have no idea they get agitated when they are inside the house. They just stayed outside patrolling around. But lately, they started venturing forth. And now this. They always find a way to leave the house or scratch the door while meowing nonstop. They also get aggressive while inside for too long. And I don't know where they go in the neighborhood. They just vanish in it. Wow. It's difficult to keep track of them, I see. When I lived in DR, my sister had a parrot. And sometimes she would actually, and by she, I mean the parrot, the parrot would just like fly off. And we would have no idea where she went, but she would usually come back home. Usually. But then one time she actually ended up in my neighbor's yard, and their big ass dog caught up to her. So that was the end of her. So the reason why I say that is that I'm sure that you already take pretty good care of your cats. However, you might want to keep an eye out for them. And maybe not let them out. I know that they want to be outside, but if they're always going to come back injured, and I mean, like, Lord knows if they don't end up coming back one day, you might have to take precautions like that. Hey, Summit, want to hear a joke? By all means, hit me. Machine servitor, tracking them down is a nightmare. It is filled with roofs and catwalks, and when they come back like this. Oh no. There has to be some kind of solution, even if it's just like temporary, but something that can be done to keep them from leaving. Because if they leave, it looks like oftentimes they will end up coming back like this, and like that's not good. Well, I probably won't need to. I can just keep getting them for stuff like clothes, headphones, etc. Yeah, fair enough. That's probably what I would do as well. Bone conduction headphones enable you to hear all of your surroundings fully while listening to music. Huh. Hang on. Bone conduction. So, I guess kind of like ambient sound mode? but much more organic. Wireless bone conduction, open ear. Open ear? Wow. I kind of dig that. Bluetooth headphones. So this is from a company called Aftershocks. And it looks like everything bone conduction related seems to be coming from them, from Aftershocks. That's interesting. Okay, so what I'm seeing here are actually earbuds, not exactly headphones, but that's all right. So they actually don't go on your ears, but just close to your ears. That's so interesting. And the way that you wear them is like it's actually pretty stealthy. Okay, I think I'm going to want to keep an eye out for this actually. This is different. This is quite different for sure. I could also buy a console too. Oh yeah, and you should totally get your hands on the latest and greatest PlayStation 5. I'm sure that it's just available in the stores right now. I mean, if you can, then by all means go for it. Candy. Oh wait, have you heard of Skull Candy? Scully Scandy. Skull Candy? Yes, I have. When I was a kid, I used to have a pair of Skull Candy headphones, but I haven't actually dabbled too much into Skull Candy ever since. Usually, I don't pay attention to Razer since it's hella expensive, but the Barracuda looks worth it, to be honest. $100 for a gaming headset could very well be a very good value, especially considering that I do appreciate the way that Razer has been handling their ear cuffs. They just seem to be more resistant to wear over time versus other competitors that have stuck with pleather. But yeah, like Razer does have some good value on some of their other stuff too. Like you just have to find it, you know? I don't know, maybe feeding them remedies that make them sleepy and lazy? Using catnip? It is difficult thinking of a solution. Yeah, I'm sure you don't really have a ton of options available to you in that regard. Well, at least the females are chill, and that's good. Hey, you have some form of tranquility with them at the very least. Unless I tie them down, but then again, if I do that, they will just suffer and people will call me cruel or whatever. Yeah, maybe not tie them down, and I don't feel like strapping them to a chair. No, I would not go that far either. I certainly would not go that far either. I would say, hey, just leave the door closed, but, you know, I don't really know like how many doors are in your house or anything like that. Like here in New York, most people only have one door. But I know that in other countries like in DR, there could literally be like 3 different exits to your house. The Huntsman switches are disgusting. Excuse me? How dare you say that? Wait, is that supposed to be an insult? Or is that like... or is that like slang that I just don't really understand yet? And you're going to educate me on that. I remember as a kid thinking that Beats are the best headphones out there because only the rich kids have it back then. Yeah, I can certainly relate to that as well. Like as a kid, you may also see that. Oh, you know, like some of the wealthier parents of some of these kids bought them the iPhone or the iPhone 3, the 3G, and things like that. And then, you know, like you just wonder, wow, the iPhone's got to be so good. I mean, like it costs that much money for a reason, right? It's as expensive as it is because it's just that amazing. But yeah, then when you get older, you learn to like tell these things apart better. Momokara, hey King. I'm not a king. I'm at best a jester, but thank you for stopping by, Momokara. You helped me buy my Razer Raiju Ultimate Pro. Oh, sick. You got this. Well, how do you like that controller so far? I still use it to this day, and I absolutely love mine. The six have worn down a bit, so I actually have to buy replacements for those, but otherwise, the controller is still amazing. Jeremiah Johnson. Hey, man, how's your day? Oh, well, thank you for asking, Jeremiah, and thank you for stopping by as well. My day is going pretty alright, I would say. It's, it's just a day. It's nothing really all that special at the moment. I'm sort of doing a live review of the Zoom ZDM-1. This is an XLR, a cardiodynamic microphone that doesn't do very well when it comes to sound rejection, but if you have a good or well sound treated room, I should say, then you should get pretty good quality out of this. Do they produce armor for cats? Maybe the white one could use one if he's going to fight anyway. You should look into that for sure, and if not, I challenge you, Mr. Machine Servitor, to build these up. My aunts didn't remove their nails because they know that they were going to do that. Also, they never attack me or anything. In fact, they seem to trust me the most. They always come to me when they're like this, or if I'm not around, they look for the aunts. I see. Okay. So there's quite a bit of trust there. I feel like cats are not so quick to trust people, really. So I would consider that a pretty good thing. You seem to be at the top of their trust list. I dig it. Samsung should make software, if they haven't already, like an EQ for their microphones. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Black Widow all the way. I think that they haven't, though, because a good amount of their microphones also tend to be XLR, and usually people who have like an XLR setup do have like a hardline EQ available to them, or as I like to call it, yes, a hardline EQ. No, it's not slang. I'm for real. They just suck. The Huntsman switches for future tech. How dare you say that? How dare you say that to my face on my stream, on my live stream that I worked so hard to use my bandwidth to deliver to you. I'll have you know that the Huntsman keyboards are great. You're just jealous because your Huntsman sucks. What's the most overpriced microphone out there, in your opinion? The Aston Stealth. I think the Aston Stealth is probably the most overpriced XLR microphone. But when it comes to USB microphones, the most overpriced one is the Razer Siren Elite. 100%. At $200, that microphone is garbage. Also, the Razer Siren X, honestly, like, it's pretty overpriced for how it sounds. The Siren Mini sounds better than either one of those, and it's like the cheapest one in the lineup. The controller went mad, so I returned it. No, the drift was out of control. No, I got a second one, replaced version, and that one works great. Oh, okay, well that's good. All right, no more whining on my end then. I'm happy to hear that that the replacement has been working well so far. Later on, as I kept using the Razer Raiju Ultimate, I did notice that in wireless mode, like in Bluetooth mode, I would get quite a bit of drifting if I was blocking the signal, if anyway. Like if I was playing in bed and I had like my knee up or something, or like my leg up, and I had like my controller like just like leaning on it, kind of like this, then it would block the signal and it would cause it to drift. if I was using it wirelessly. But the drifting is nearly not as bad as what you're going to be getting from Nintendo's Joy-Cons. That is a fact. Well, at least they can't fight back if anything, so there's that. There is that. Sorry, they can fight back. Okay, so you do want them to fight back and defend themselves. Okay. Okay, I see what you were getting at. At first, I thought that you were referring to like whatever methods you decided to like impose on them. Like, oh, they won't be able to fight back against you. But no, I see that you mean that if they do go out on the streets, they'll be able to like fight back and like defend themselves. Momokara. Oh, I should add that my back buttons broke. I'm laughing because I tapped them in place. Works well, but for a premium controller, using tape is a bit... Wow. You have to tape them? Oh, you taped them, not tapped. Oh, jeez. Okay, because I taped them in place. Oh, no. How did that happen? Does the Raiju just have like a lot of issues, generally speaking, that I haven't really come across myself? My Raiju is still in great condition, minus the thumbsticks. Like that I have to replace, but everything else is still great, even after what, maybe 2 years of using them. So I'm genuinely surprised here. I love my Raiju Ultimate, but I can understand if all this is well, actually, I am struggling to understand that because it is kind of insane. I would have never expected that from the Raiju Ultimate. Machine Servitor. While I stayed by their side on their birthbed and always stayed watching since they were babies. Aw. I also never invasively tried to grab them or anything. I think they know me by sound and smell. By smell for sure. For sure. I think the cats do get accustomed to that very quickly, and it's the same with dogs. It's Razer. What do you expect? I expect great things from Razer 100% of the time. Like with CSJ. Mr. Ultra Pranks? Huh? I think you're looking for conflict with me. While they were young, I never tried to grab them carelessly. Like the others, I always waited for them to come to me to gently pet them. And that's good. That's a good way of handling it. Stiggy Man. Well, welcome in, firstly. Not a tech question, because, well, you know, I can sort of do that myself, but I have more so a suggestion question. Xbox Series X controller or DualSense 5, DualShock 5, just DualSense. The DualShock 5 is a solid $25 cheaper than the Xbox. Is it now? I'm actually used to seeing it the other way around. Like, I'm used to seeing the DualSense controller going higher in prices over the Xbox Series X controller. So I will say this: I do like both controllers quite a bit. But when it comes to PC gaming, I do prefer the Xbox Series X controller, actually. I think that this controller has probably better grip. The D-pad is better on this too. And I do prefer the triggers on it, since on PC, like, you can't really take advantage of like the haptic triggers that how you would be able to on PlayStation 5. So personally, for PC gaming, I would get the Series X controller. It's actually the one that I've been using to play a lot of PC games lately. So yeah, I mean, like, the D-pad is very clicky, so like it's great for like fighting games. Because it also does have like a rolling pad, and because it's so clicky, I like it a lot for turn-based games. I find it to be very responsive, if anything. And honestly, I do look forward to seeing like an elite version of this controller, because if I do see it, then I will most certainly end up buying into it, I think. But yeah, that's probably what I would recommend. The only cat born with a red temper is the Scar-looking one. That one just keeps a distance from everybody. except when asking for help. All the others just walk around me looking for cuddles. Aw. It, I think that the other cat is just being edgy. We call him Scar sometimes as a nickname when not using his real name. What is his actual name? Well, I count the battery pack as a needed one for the Xbox. I ain't using a in 2021. Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. I'm in complete agreement with you. Yeah, like that whole AA battery fiasco there. I've never been a fan of it. I just thought that it's like so weird. It's like, why? Why? Why AA batteries? And they still breastfeed. I don't know what's up with that. They're very attached to their mother. How old are they? Using Logitech F710 as a PC controller. Ah, yes. I think you recommended that controller to me at some point, actually. As a PC controller, there's a switch where you can change it from X input to direct input. Pretty sweet, honestly. Not a lot of controllers have that feature. Why a Zotac graphics card? I hope I don't sound aggressive. Why a Zotac graphics card? Because it was the only one I could get. If it was up to me, I would have gotten the Founders Edition card instead. Honestly, I would have just gotten that instead, because I did kind of want to go for like a classier look, and then you know, I guess kind of like the rest of the components kind of scream like aggressive gamer. So yeah, I mean, I went with Zotac because it was the cheapest 3090 that I could find, but other I would have bought from almost any any manufacturer. And I bought it on eBay, by the way. I had to. Planning on joining the PC MasterCard. Ah, PC has a MasterCard. And I actually read your comment below, but I'm going to pretend that comment's not there yet. I already watched your video on the Razer Tartarus. Do you still like it? And what would you suggest as a good keyboard for a beginner? I think that the Razer Tartarus is still pretty cool to this day, but I also sold it some time ago because I didn't really need it anymore. But I really liked my time with it, and I have very few complaints for it. So when it comes to a good keyboard for a beginner, honestly, for like people who are building PCs for like the first time, or that want like gaming peripherals and that kind of thing, but like they're just starting off, I would usually recommend going pretty cheap on that, and that even involves going with the Red Dragon keyboard instead of something from like Razer, because like these keyboards end up costing somewhere around 40 to 50 bucks, and it's just like a much easier pill to swallow. So it also depends on how loud you like your keys. I personally like really loud, fast, and clicky sounding and feeling keys, but some people do prefer quieter keys because maybe they share a room with somebody else and that sorts of stuff. But yeah, luckily I'm by myself in here, so I can be as loud as I want with my keys. Now when it comes to a mouse, oh wait a second, you're only asking about keyboard. Okay, no, yeah. So when it comes to keyboards, I would recommend one of Red Dragon's own keyboards. In fact, I'm looking at one from Red Dragon. So this is the Red Dragon K551 mechanical keyboard. And this is this one even has a number pad and everything. So this is a full size keyboard, you could say. And it does have the right keys for it. My only issue with it is maybe that it doesn't have like a wrist rest or anything for it. But if you don't mind, then shouldn't really be a big deal. So let me go ahead and link this for you down below in case of anything. You are on YouTube, so let me go to the YouTube stream. Okay, there we go. All right, I went ahead and linked it for you. His name is Eso, or Eso, courtesy of my brother. He acts just like my brother. Does he now? And the white one is similar in bulk like me. Oh, I see. Interesting. So he's like the bigger one then, like the cat. I still think I'm going with the PlayStation 5. I like the D-pad more, being separate. Okay. Then, yeah, like if you do have a preference towards that, I do totally get it. I would consider either one to be, you know, like pretty tough to choose between one or the other if you're like comparing the two specifically, because I think both controllers are great. They're really good. And the DualSense controller, or DualShock 5 controller, as you call it, is such a massive improvement from the DualShock 4 controller, when the Xbox Series controller is not that big of an improvement from the Xbox One controller. But I personally thought that the DualShock 4 needed a pretty strong upgrade versus the Xbox One's controller that I believe was already very good as it was, and they only made it better here. But yeah, like I totally understand your decision for wanting to go with DualSense instead. Either way, you're going to absolutely love that controller. And at least that's my guess. Master Race, okay. Oh, I just caught up to that. Oh no. Sticky Man, huh? Well, why do they specify Nordic on the DualShock 5? Is there a different layout? I actually find that to be a little bit odd. Because both the L and R buttons are still in the Scandinavian alphabet. So yeah, like I do find that to be pretty confusing. I don't think that there would be a different layout for it. I'm not sure. That's so weird. Glary, welcome in. Yo, what is the best USB microphone for $100? For $100, the best USB microphone would be... I would probably say the Fifine K690 would probably fill the shoes quite well there, since that microphone at MSRP was at around $99, but I'm pretty sure it's gone down to like 80, like it often goes on sale. So yeah, I would consider that to be the best microphone for under $100. My family says my brother owns Esso and I own Bronco, the white one, because they seem to represent us. Okay. Interesting. So that's how the ownership has been split there of the cats. And does your brother live with you guys? What's a Founders Edition? It's a Founders Edition. Essentially, that's just what NVIDIA calls like their own line of cards. So like you have Zotac cards, you have MSI cards, you have Asus cards, you have Gigabyte cards, and things like that. And then the Founders Edition card it's really just like a different design, or I guess you can even say the original design of any given card. So right now, for instance, we have like Founders Edition of the RTX 3090, 3080, and 3070, as well as the TI models and things like that. You know, like it's just NVIDIA's own exterior design for them. What games did you get during the Steam Summer Sale? I only bought 2 games, and those were really just pre-orders. I just pre-ordered Final Fantasy 1 and 2, the Pixel Perfect editions. on Steam because like they just happened to be on somewhat of a sale around then. So I was like, why not? $20 for both games. I guess it is okay, since those are the only two games that I'm missing on PC. The only Final Fantasy games, at least, that I'm missing on PC. So yeah, I just bought that, but I didn't think that the summer sale was really all that great this year. I thought last year was honestly a lot better. This year, I was rather disappointed. What did you get though? Any interesting stuff on your end, perhaps? You could have gone an Asus TUF 39. Sorry, 3090. It's black and it's got that classy look. No, I couldn't actually. Those cards were out of stock everywhere. Like, I had to buy my card from a scalper if I wanted one at all. I woke up pretty early to try and like get in line for the queue to be one of the first people to buy a 3090 or 3080. Same with the 3070. I failed at every front, so I was not able to make it. I had to buy from a scalper, and considering that the prices were already raised, I at that point I was just going to buy the cheapest one possible. Plus, I wasn't thinking too clearly when I bought it either, because I admittedly had been drinking a lot of apple juice, the intoxicating kind of apple juice, and I was not in the right frame of mind. So it was also kind of like a rush decision on the spot. I remember that day pretty clearly, actually. I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! With my co-host after filming an episode. And then we started drinking a lot of apple juice. And yeah, like it was so dumb. It was a lot of fun. I actually have a video of them like playing with the Buster Sword, like with the Cloud Buster Sword that I have back there. It's pretty hilarious. Seeing a drunk person play like that is just so funny. Do you stream slash do you stream slash do content for a living? All good if that's private. Oh, I don't mind talking about that at all. The answer is yes, I do. This is what I do full time. And this is what I've been doing full time. I want to say since the end. No, since sometime around maybe like the spring of last year. So that's when I was able to like actually start doing this full time and like only focus on this. But yeah, like, this is essentially what I do. Though when it comes to streams, even though I do consider streaming to be part of work, technically oftentimes I don't really make much money from streaming, because like on YouTube, for instance, I don't think I have any channel members. On Twitch I do have subscribers though, and those are all always appreciated. And then there are donations, which I would say it's like the bulk of it. And even those don't really happen all that often. So even though I do consider streaming as being like part of my job, I'm technically not really like profiting from it. I'm doing it more so like because it's fun, I would say. And I hope that makes sense. Stiggy Man. Yep, ordering it. DualShock 5, PlayStation 5, DS5, Cosmic Red coming home Thursday afternoon. Look at that. That's awesome. Cosmic Red. I actually don't even think I've seen that color for it. Yeah, and are you interested in getting a PlayStation 5? What is the best? Oh wait, I already answered that. I tried the DualShock 3 back in the day. I liked it, but it felt way too late. I did not like the DualShock 3 back in the day. I didn't like any DualShock controllers really up until the DualShock 4, because the DualShock 4 was like a genuine improvement from the DualShock 3 in terms of heft, in terms of the grips, like in a lot of ways. But the DualSense controller is a much bigger improvement from that one as well. Like, I'm so happy with the design of the controller. Thank you so much, man. And you say you're not a king. Finding a whole keyboard for me, absolute legend. For a mouse, I was looking at the Logitech G502. You got any pointers on it? I use the Logitech G502 already personally. Like, that is my mouse of choice. I love the Logitech G502, like, a lot. This is, in my opinion, the best mouse that I have used. The most comfortable one with the most customization, the great design, great build, a good amount of heft to it. I love the G502. So you will get nothing but the highest recommendation and praise from me regarding the G502. I think Logitech did a fantastic job. And the wired version of that mouse is actually like around $50 too. So it's an amazing price. Absolutely. So the answer is yes. And I'm more of a jester, I'll have you know. As much as I would love to be a king one day, I'm just a jester at the moment. I'm just dancing for people and making jokes. But I very much appreciate it. Thank you. My brother lives with us, yes, but he rarely interacts with his cat and the cat with him. Aw, that's unfortunate. I have a budget of $250 for a podcast setup, microphone and audio interface. What are you going to recommend me to buy? So you only need one microphone and one audio interface, right? Like, you don't need two microphones or anything like that. Like, it's not a two-person podcast. It's just going to be like a one-person podcast. Just want to clarify there. Keep me posted, please. I'm the one that is generally close to the pets. I think that's fair. And I think that it is a lot so in your nature too. Like, based off of what I know about you so far, like, I would say that you're somebody that really likes animals. And I would say that pets like that, I mean, you're somebody that would probably want to give a lot of care and attention to them. Ultra Pranks. To be honest, I kind of like Tough more than ROG because, one, it's less expensive, LOL, and I prefer the Tough brands in general, so I'd probably go for a Tough desktop. I'm already planning on getting a Tough motherboard and monitor and a Tough graphics card, CPU cooling, and maybe a Tough motherboard. Wow. Well, someone's a bit of a fanboy here, I see. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with like trusting a brand that much. And you know, like, sticking to your brand loyalty there. If you want to go with Tough components for your PC, I'm certainly not going to say no. Oh, and a Tough case. I think you should also make sure that it is a Tough case. Get it? Ha! Hang on. Oh man, I wish I had a laugh track. I watched over them ever since they were born. Ever since they were small, little, defenseless, blind puffballs. If I get the Tough motherboard, I don't know if it works with any other. No, yeah, like, all of these things should still work just fine. Even on other types of motherboards too. That doesn't have to be a Tough motherboard. Like, you don't have to stick to one brand when it comes to components if you don't want to. Like, I'm using a Gigabyte motherboard. I'm using a Zotac graphics card. I am using a Cooler Master air cooler for my CPU. I'm using an EVGA power supply. I'm using, what else? I'm using Trident RAM. Like G-Skill Trident. And yeah, I mean, you really don't have to match. But if you want to match, then that's another story. Bought Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey. Oh, those are actually good buys, I would say. I started on Origins. I have to keep playing it. I've just been like a little bit more invested in like RPGs and things like that. I've been going back and like replaying Final Fantasy games. Like I'm replaying 15 New Game Plus now. Machine Servitor. However, I can't watch over them forever. They roam around and they are by themselves in the streets. At least they can fight back. That is true. So it is good that they can't still defend themselves, even though they do still end up coming back a little bit scuffed up. And hopefully that's something that can be resolved at some point. The Ultimate, what's up, man? How you doing? I'm doing all right, actually. How are you, Mr. The Ultimate? Don't you also work for a company? I do freelance work for another company as well, like editing videos and things like that. But like it's still in the same vein because those videos do go on to their YouTube channel regardless. So yeah, like it is just full-time content creation. The actual last piece I need for my PC to ascend to the MasterCard, there you go, is a nice case. A medium to small one, if you get me. Something to fit nicely on my desk. I don't mind having a rave-like RGB. Yeah, that's what I like to hear. That is exactly what I like to hear. No, yeah, like having rave-like RGB lighting, it does look pretty nice, like depending on how you have it implemented. So hey, why not? So it sounds like you want, like the biggest thing that you might want is a mid tower. But it sounds like maybe you want to go a little bit smaller if you want to put it on your desk. Maybe. But yeah, cool. Sounds cool. Sounds cool. My PC is a full tower, so like it's absolutely gigantic and it's stupid heavy. I would not put it on my desk. It might actually break the table. Clock TikTok. Hello, John Woo Firecat. Thanks for stopping by. Yes, G502 gang. Where are you at? I'm right here. Click. I don't know if I should get the wireless version. Don't know. Honestly, just get the wired version. The wired version is totally fine. And that's the one I've been using for a long time. Years now. Probably 4 years, actually. I like the shape of the G502. Spin. I like the shape of the G502. I like how I can have my thumb at the bottom, which I like a lot. Yeah, I like that a lot too. Like, it does have a thumb rest for it. I don't need one on the other side per se, which is something that the Razer Ouroboros had. And that was actually modular most. Like, I thought that it was really cool that you could like customize so many things on it, but it was built so cheaply. And it was so expensive too. I was so glad that I switched over to a much cheaper, but like it still feels more expensive. Mess. Hee. Spin. Forgot about the scroll wheel. The best part. I got a pair of JBL headphones. Comes in on Thursday. Ah, sweet. Which pair did you end up going for? What model? And ID. And I got the shock mount for the K678. Okay, cool. I mean, like, you better make use of all that money and make sure that you spend it on the Nintendo Switch OLED, of course. Yes, I just need one microphone. Okay, then in that case, the interface straight up that I would recommend is a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 3rd gen. And you can actually save yourself some money on that by going with the solo version of the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. So I'm gonna go ahead and link those for you actually, just in case. You're currently on YouTube, so yeah, okay. Scarlett, okay, Scarlett Solo. It's not the 2i2. It's just called the Scarlett Solo. So the Scarlett Solo, is smaller, cheaper, and it still has great preamps, which is something worth noting for sure. And since you're only using one microphone, it only has one XLR port, so I think that this is still going to do you a lot of favors here, so I'm going to go ahead and link that for you right now. Let me go back to YouTube. And as for the microphone, immediately what I'm going to recommend is going to be the Rode Pod mic, which I'm also going to link to you. Let me see. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so the Rode Pod mic is the one that I'm going to recommend. Now, do you already know what kind of microphone arm you want to use with it, as well as maybe what headphones you're going to have plugged into your interface? Like, is that stuff already taken care of? Okay, there we go. Okay, so this next link is going to be for the Rode Pod mic. Since it's for a podcast, I mean, you are going to get the broadcast sound out of the pod mic already, so honestly, it probably wouldn't really go any other way. And I got the shock mount for the K609, right? I read that. Thank you, Tech. I don't remember what it was for, but you're welcome. Machine Servitor, Bybot. Thank you for that, by the way. I do appreciate all your hard work, man. I do. About to join you guys there with that G502. Haha! Good call. That G502 is a great mouse. He says the ultimate. You gotta have that sitcom soundboard to back you up. I know, because no one here on the chat is laughing with me right now. So, like... if I need to hear some kind of laughter, I need to, like, have a button set up for that. I really do. I honestly, truly do. I have to work on that. I have one... for the podcast. I don't know why I haven't done it for the Go XLR yet, but that is on my list of to-do things before I leave. I have advice. Get good. Excuse me? Say that to my face, John the Firecat. I mean, John the Firecat. Since he doesn't have, like, the cow component in it anymore in the username. Speaking of Tridents, I wonder if anyone has tried to use Trident boxes as RAM for their cardboard PC setup. It's best with dual channel though. The cardboard boxes? As RAM? No. I mean, not on my end. Maybe others have a different take on that. Yeah, I'd get different RAM and power supply. There's a tough PSU, but I don't really care about the PSU if it's the same brand on the visual stuff. Really, and plus it's Asus. I'm sure it'll be fine. Be careful with the power supply. The power supply is still extremely important, so watch out on that. Do you recommend Sennheiser HD559? Says Vigis. I'm assuming it's how it's pronounced. If I got that wrong, then do feel free to correct me, as I would like to learn better there. Now, as for the Sennheiser HD559, I've never tried out those Sennheisers, so unfortunately I don't really have an opinion on them. I'm looking them up right now, actually, trying to check them out. Okay, so this is like a $100 open back, it appears. Yeah, open back headphones. So generally speaking, open back headphones tend to be great performers. Like when it comes to a lot of different things. They're not the best for editing though. Open backs are really good, like when it comes to getting a more open sound. So like in other words, like going through like just getting a wider soundstage. And it sounds like, because this is an open back pair, this pair should be able to deliver on that. One thing that I like just from seeing it online though, is actually the kind of padding that it has. Like, it's not pleather. It's actually got this kind of fabric to it that should last a lot longer than pleather would. So like, it's already got that going for it. I do like the design and the shape of it as well. It looks like it would just be like straight out a very comfortable pair to wear. I would love to test this out at some point, but my take is that I think that it would totally be worth getting and testing and just like seeing if you like it or not, seeing if you like the sound or not. But I would say that open back headphones are going to be great for almost everything. Listening to music, uh, gaming, definitely, and things like that. Even though they aren't so good for editing, so like just keep that in mind. But they can still be fairly good, depending on the sound signature of these. I'm not exactly sure where they're boosted, what kind of sound signature this is going for, but that's why I would say that you might just be better off getting these and testing them out. But so far, like, from me just seeing them, I'm intrigued, honestly. And that's unfortunately the most that I can offer in the way of that, so I do apologize. 1 hour mark reach tag. Ah, yes, that is correct. I will be piecing out in just a bit. Feeling a bit useless, kind of like that one setting on your phone. You feel me? What? I'm actually somewhat confused over there, buddy pal. Well, like the cardboard is feeling useless? Airplane mode redeemed by Ultimate. Oh, thank you. Okay, so here we go. Welcome back. Welcome over to flight 59112. Thank you so much for stopping by. And Flipbad Side X, thanks so much for following over on Twitch. That is very much appreciated. Thank you. And I just want to say, of course, that while I am indeed doing an IRL stream while in an airplane, we should be landing very soon on Miami, Florida, very shortly. So please make sure to have a wonderful flight. Close your eyes if you must, and if you do need any assistance, looking into which packages we have regarding microtransactions for our Wi-Fi plans for this plane ride, then do make sure to communicate with the flight attendants. They would be more than happy to help out. And don't forget, tipping is nice, so tip them on top of paying them. Thank you, and have a wonderful flight. So we're back on airplane mode. Man, a lot of people tend to like airplane mode. I've been grinding on, hang on. Okay, yeah. I've been grinding on Swipe like so much. I got another $50 gift card just now. Well, there you go. Spread the wealth, Mr. Ultra Pranks. No, actually, I do think that you should save those and get something that you really want with that. I've had the wired version for years. Don't know if it's worth the upgrade. I don't usually like wireless stuff, but it kind of appealed to me for some reason. Well, the pair that I was looking at was a wired model. It appears to be just like the base HD 559 open back headphones from Sennheiser. And these two operate over wire. I don't think these are wireless at all. But overall, I mean, still, like, this is probably a pretty solid pair. Probably. I should emphasize that. I like wireless headphones for, like, when I'm on the go and things like that, but if I'm, like, on my desk, I don't need wireless at all. Yes, I need a boom arm or a stand, but not an expensive one, like your blue arm. No worries, I got you. Okay, so when it comes to a microphone stand, would you be interested in getting the one that we use for the Tech Summit podcast, actually? Or do you want, like, a microphone arm? Because what we use for the podcast is a stand. So, like, it is, like, it just, like, you put it on your desk. Like that, and you can, like, extend it in and stuff. But, like, it goes on your desk versus an arm that just, like, attaches to the side and then, like, it expands. So what would be your preference in that regard? Because depending on your preference, I'm going to end up recommending different things. Can we have a laugh track? A laugh train? Oh, you mean like I mean, I don't really know how to make a laugh train. Or not. My apologies. I'm fairly new new to the whole train scene, I suppose. And despite being a New Yorker. Tech, I don't know if you saw it or if you saw it, but is a little kid and he said he doesn't care about you anymore. Oh. Aw. Aw. Okay. I think he's better off moving on regardless. I think that it is just better. The community and him just aren't exactly a very good fit. Momo Kara. Sorry, I meant the gum boxes. Gum boxes? What? Oh. Jesus Christ. Confusing me. Not boxes of the G-Skill RAM. Okay, gotcha. It is okay. No one cares. Wow. Come on. He's just a little kid. Okay, thanks for the advice. Bye. Oh, sure, no worries. I wish you the best in that regard, and I do hope that the advice was helpful, by the way. Thanks a lot for stopping by. No, I mean for power supply. Okay, back to the actual audio. No, I mean for power supply, I don't care if it's the tough brand. Oh, nope, no, oh, okay. That's understandable, yeah. Believe it or not, I'm still angry. Angry at him. Angry equals angry. I got it, no worries. And flip at side X. Hello, I came from your YouTube, the Red Dragon GM300 video. Can I ask, did you add any effects or is that all stock? Everything that you heard from that video was completely stock. Nothing was like edited at all there. Not even for the live review of it. Everything that you heard was completely raw. No edits, no post-processing of any kind. Minus maybe like increasing the gain in post, but like that's about it. What you heard there is what the microphone sounds like by itself. And also, thanks a lot for stopping by on Twitch as well. I appreciate it. Glued the door shut, so now you can't throw me off the plane. What made you think I was going to throw you off the plane? I would never do such a thing. Ah, that was a poorly thought out transition. That honestly sounded better in my head. Yeah, like you're just making me sound like the bad guy now. I'm the guy that flies the plane. I would never toss any passengers over. Unless they smell bad, then maybe I might. Or I'll just be like, excuse me, Miss Flight Attendant, can you like take care of that customer? And then like she'll like, Oh. Also 2.4 gigahertz for Bluetooth. 2.4 gigahertz is usually the way to go. I think at least that it tends to be better than Bluetooth. But Bluetooth 5.0 has been very solid. Dono wall. Laugh train? I thought we boarded a plane. That is true, we were on the plane. Is he live anywhere else? Oh yes. Yes, I am. I am currently live on YouTube and Twitch. So, like, I do apologize if there's some messages that maybe are not being seen here. But yeah, like, I am streaming to both platforms at the same time. I asked a question and I simply got dono walled. Really? Really? Wait a second. I mean, like, your question was about the Red Dragon GM300, right? Because if that's the case, no, I did get to read it, and I did answer. But if you need me to repeat it, I'd be more than happy to do so. And I apologize if anything is getting in the way for you at the moment. I find that to be extremely odd, though, that you got dono walled. Oh, it's just delayed for 5 minutes. Jesus Christ. Oh. Why is Twitch so far behind in comparison? That's so odd. Of course you wouldn't. Also, why did I see a sign saying we're headed to Boston and not... there. We currently have a passenger, actually, who has some crazy ideas. And I think that we should actually probably go ahead and take care of that issue. So, Miss Flight Attendant number 3, could you please walk over to him and, have a one-on-one with him near the gate? Thank you. Ooh, okay. Well, that was actually a pretty close call. Yeah, Tech. Have a good night. I gotta go. Tomorrow I will need to restock my medical supply. Oh, no worries, buddy. Have a wonderful night, and thanks a lot for stopping by, and also thanks for all of your hard work. I appreciate it. The Logitech K845 is underrated. Is it now? Logitech K845. Oh wait, that's one of their keyboards, if I recall correctly, and yes. It might just be a pretty underrated option, considering that, I mean, it's also pretty affordable at around 46 bucks. So why not? Gets politely thrown into the storage cargo in the plane. You'll be fine. You'll survive. At least that's what she said. As in, like, the flight attendant. It wasn't... It was... Oh no. There you go. I laid my own trap to get myself canceled. That's it. But anyway, with that said, you guys, tonight's stream was indeed supposed to be a shorter one. So I do appreciate everybody that stopped by tonight. And I do hope that I was able to answer everyone's questions. And that includes you as well. Flipped Side X. I very much appreciate you stopping by, and I do hope that I was able to help you out there. Now, with that said, everyone, thanks so much for stopping by tonight. It was certainly pretty fun, and I should see you guys hopefully on Friday and Saturday. The week after, I will not be streaming because I won't be in the country, but regardless, I do look forward to the next one. So with that said, I wish you all a wonderful night, and thank you so much for stopping by. You have all been great. And yeah, if you have any more questions next time, I'll be more than happy to answer. So until then, enjoy. Good night.